The USA underestimated Iran, and they actually bombed some of their facilities located in Dubai. Donald Trump finally get the message that this is no play thing. He actually unleashed a massive wave of attack on Iran, and trust me guys, it is getting more intense every day. So this is actually day 11 going to day 12 actually, and as we are here, the gas price in USA is going sky high. It's going through the roof. Like, everybody is gonna be feeling it right now because it costs like 800 million a day to maintain this war, and man, that's a crazy amount of money. So just imagine how much we as taxpayers gotta pay back. It's gonna be crazy. Everything is gonna raise all the way to the roof. Over on Iran's side, there's a lot to talk about as well, and the president actually announced that no more small bombs will be launching, and they will be upping the scale as well. So it's not gonna go well, trust me guys. And actually there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to that, but we're gonna go straight into the video.
The U.S. and Iran trading new threats around the Strait of Hormuz, sending gas prices skyrocketing here in the U.S. This new video just into our newsroom showing strikes on more than a dozen Iranian vessels, including what the military said were ships that could have laid explosive mines in the strait. The president warning if Iran attacked ships there, the U.S.
there's
would
nobody
hit back
inside.
even harder. That comes just hours after the defense secretary vowed, in his words, the most intense day of strikes yet. That intensity on full display in these new videos. Launchers firing and intercepting Iranian missiles in the sky. Iranian launchers, the U.S. says, were hitting in tunnels and under overpasses, blown to bits. And this, Iranian boat after boat after boat going up in flames. All of it as we're learning more about the toll this war is taking on our service members. The Pentagon announcing some 140 wounded in addition to the 7 that have already been killed. Our teams are covering the latest, and we start with Garrett Hake at the White House tonight.
Tonight, a massive wave of U.S. and Israeli strikes on the Iranian regime and a wild ride for oil prices, due in part to this post from Energy Secretary Chris Wright that, quote, the U.S. Navy successfully escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. Wright quickly deleting the post.
I can confirm that the U.S. Navy has not...
Why did they delete the post? Like, bro, what?
...escorted a tanker or a vessel at this time.
President Trump warning Iran to stop threatening oil tankers from traveling through the strait.
I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level.
Oil prices tonight plunging down to around $86 a barrel. All as inside Iran, the Pentagon says it struck over 5,000 targets.
Today will be yet again.
Well, here we go again. So now Iran is targeting the oil supplies. Wow, bro. This is going to get more intensified. More and more. Like, bro, US tried to sabotage Iran, and now Iran is flipping the switch. So this is like they're flipping the switch on them. They're destroying all the ships that carry the oil. It's not gonna end well.
Our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes.
Including taking out hidden missile launchers.
Ballistic missile attacks continue to trend downward, 90% from where they've started, and one-way attack drones have decreased 83%.
Wait, so those are all the...
Though Iran still launching attacks on its Arab neighbors. This video showing an Iranian drone chased by a United Arab Emirates fighter jet.
Oh my lord.
In Bahrain, the government says a woman was killed during an Iranian strike on a residential neighborhood. Tonight, new questions over the war's timeline, with President Trump saying the U.S. is, quote, very far ahead of its initial 4 to 5 week schedule.
It's going to be finished pretty quickly.
But also,
we've already won in many ways, but We haven't won enough.
And the president has also suggested he should have a role picking the new Iranian leader. We pressed the White House.
Is the ending of this war also contingent on Iran selecting a leader that the president finds acceptable? And if so, how is that not the definition of a regime change war?
Look, as President Trump has blatantly and frankly stated, it's obviously within the best interest of the United States and the West to no longer have a radical terrorist in charge of Iran. We have objectives that we have laid out that the commander-in-chief wants to see achieved.
And now a new image of the 5 members of the Iran.
So they actually not accepting the Iranian government son to lead the country. So Donald Trump want to unpick the government that he wants to be in power. So that's gonna be problematic for sure, because I'm sure Iranian people won't accept that, and that's where the war will continue for sure.
Iranian women's soccer team just granted asylum in Australia. Iranian state TV branded them traitors for protesting the Iranian regime by refusing to sing the national anthem. Yesterday, on the team bus, players had flashed the sign for help as crowds chanted, "Save our girls."
They are safe here and they should feel at home here.
Garrett joins us tonight again from the White House. So I know you have new reporting on the U.S. service members who've been injured in this war.
That's right, Tom. The Pentagon's saying 140 service members or so have been wounded, most of them with minor injuries, and they've returned to duty, but 8 are considered severely injured. And last night, the dignified transfer ceremony for Army Sergeant Benjamin Pennington was held. He's the 7th service member killed in this war. Tom?
All right, Garrett. All that uncertainty over the shipping channel as well in the Middle East. The price of oil may have gone down today, but the price of gas still skyrocketing. Camila Bernal now on the impact those prices are having.
Wow.
Fallout from the war plain to see at every gas station across the U.S. The price of a gallon of gas now up 55 cents since the war began.
It definitely makes us second guess some of the financial decisions that we make.
In California, with the country's highest prices, gas is well above $5 a gallon.
200 miles, 200 to 300 miles a day.
Yasha Timinovich drives for rideshare and delivery services for about 10 hours a day.
What is it like for you when you drive around and you see gas at $5.79 a gallon?
Makes me sick.
Wild swings in crude oil prices also hitting hard for farmers just beginning the spring planting season.
I have a tractor that requires 100 gallons of diesel fuel to fill it up, and it costs me $469.
John Boyd grows soybeans, corn, and wheat at his 4th-generation family farm in Virginia. He says his fertilizer supplier can't even deliver what he needs.
Oh, like everybody's gonna be feeling this now, because things are just gonna get harder and harder if this war continues. Like US is losing so much money because I heard that it cost them a lot of money to actually produce these drones. And I know they got a lot, but bro, it's just costing a lot. It's just costing a lot. And I don't know how Iran keep fighting. Like it doesn't seem like they're stopping at any time. They just keep on headed, and I don't know when this war is gonna stop, to be honest, but we need it to stop.
Due to the war and the bombing through that area, the fertilizer isn't moving, which means it won't be readily available at all to me right now.
And at Josie's Flowers in North Hollywood, Fernando Ayala has already raised prices for deliveries by 20%.
If I have to eat the gas every time, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
And people are paying between $5 and $15 more on average in comparison to last week to fill up their gas tanks. But with pressure on the oil markets, those prices could continue to go up.
I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level.
This is a war imposed on us.
That the son of the president by Iran.
And what we are doing is only defending ourselves.
Okay.
So I don't think, talking with Americans anymore would be, on our agenda anymore.
Oh. Guess around the war with
Day 11 of the US-Israel war in Iran, and the stakes just jumped dramatically. As American and Israeli strikes intensify, Tehran says it is changing the rules of the missile war. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps now vows to launch only monster missiles, warheads weighing at least 1 ton, designed to overwhelm defenses.
Wow.
Here's a report.
1 ton? That's crazy, bro. Oh, shit. Wait, is those bombs? Yo. This is like this is ridiculous, bro. This is surreal. Like, this is like a movie. All them video games like Call of Duty, but bro, this is on some next level shit. Like, we used to, guns shooting and all of that, but when it comes to bomb, like, boom, blowing up buildings and killing hundreds of people, it's just on a different level. And to just see it continue day by day, like, it is just scary. It is just scary. Damn, that's our bunkers. Lord, look at this.
The air war is intensifying. American bombers and Israeli jets continue pounding Iranian targets. Military facilities, launch sites and command centers have been hit as the conflict enters its 11th day. Israel warns that the attacks on Iran are set to increase.
Our aspiration is to enable the Iranian people to cast off the yoke of tyranny. Ultimately, it is up to them. But there is no doubt that through the actions taken so far, we are breaking their bones, and there is more to come.
My friends, the people of Iran, the goal of these attacks is neither freedom nor democracy. Their goal is the partition of Iran. They want Iran torn into pieces and weakened. Let us not forget these words.
Wait, you can see the pain in her voice. Like, all those kids in the background seems to be kids that was killed. And you can see that say was killed by the United States and Israel. They actually labored it. Like, you can literally see he was killed by, bro, this is cold. The tomahawk that dropped, killing over 107 people. Just one tomahawk bomb drop and kill over 170 people. Just imagine. Included about 20 plus kids, because it actually hit a basic school. Like, bro, it's crazy. You can see the frustration and the pain and the suffering. It's we need to stop.
Torn into pieces and weakened. Let us not forget these words.
And the thing is that nobody want to take blame for it. Nobody want to take responsibility. It's crazy. Donald Trump says they need to investigate it because the Tomahawk are sold by a lot of other countries, and they're not the only one that actually have Tomahawk bombs. But somehow they will find who is responsible for that. And for now, it's still in investigation. Nobody knows what's actually going on.
But as the bombs fall, Iran is signaling a dangerous retaliation, not with more missiles, but with heavier ones.
Wow.
Iranian forces say they have launched 33 waves of aerial attacks. As part of their retaliatory action named Operation True Promise 4, Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps made a striking announcement. Brigadier General Majid Musavi declared that from now on, no missile with a warhead weighing less than 1 ton will be launched. That means every missile fired will carry double the explosive force used in earlier waves. Iran says it launched 10 Khyber-Shikan missile rockets towards Tel Aviv and the US 5th Fleet base in Bahrain.
Wait, so they're targeting the US? No way. So they're targeting the US? Did I not hear good? Did I not hear cleared? No way.
Iran says it launched 10 Khyber-Shikan missile rockets towards Tel Aviv and the US 5th Fleet base in Bahrain.
Wait, no way.
Khyber-Shikan missile is one of Iran's most advanced weapons. Solid fuel, road mobile, launch ready within minutes. It can travel roughly 1,450 kilometers and descend at extreme speeds while maneuvering to evade interceptors. The missile is said to reach speeds exceeding 9,000 km per hour. Until now, these missiles typically carried warheads weighing around 450 to 600 kilograms.
Look at it go.
Iran now says the payload will double to 1 metric ton. That single change dramatically alters the economics of the war. Intercepting ballistic missiles is already expensive. A single Patriot PAC-3 interceptor costs roughly $4 million. A third interceptor costs more than $12 million. Israel's Arrow 3 system costs several million per shot. Heavier warheads mean larger blast zones that forces defenders to fire more interceptors per incoming missile.
Just imagine, bro, where are these guys getting these type of money from? Like $4,000 per shot. Crazy. What I just say? $4 million per shot. Bro, I'm tripping. Like, are they maintaining these things? Bro, like, they are well prepared. That's all I can say. These guys are freaking insane. They are so prepared. Like, there's no way this is not premeditated. $4 million per shot? Keep doing it for over 11 days, bro. Ooh, it's not easy.
More missiles intercepted, more money burned. And the consequences of a single miss become far greater. Analysts say Tehran is no longer choosing between missile quantity and destructive power. It is deploying both. Previous missile and drone barrages saw interception rates as high as 70 to 90%. But the real test begins now, because if every incoming missile carries twice the explosive weight and even one that slips through, then that would change the battlefield instantly.
Definitely.
Bureau Report, Beyond World is One.
Definitely. With them weights, like one of them missiles weigh over 1 ton and a half, like a ton and a half, almost 2 tons, and it have way more impact. Like, the devastation behind these missiles is gonna be chaotic. They are gonna be crazy, because if the little drones are doing so many damage already, just imagine these 2 ton, let's just refer it there, 2 ton bomb will do. Easy. But let me know what you guys think about this. We need this war to stop and get everything back to normal. I don't know, but so these guys are really giving it their best. The US is actually giving it their best, but Iran does not want to comply. That's actually where the danger at, because they don't want to comply, they don't want to negotiate. It's just not gonna end well, and everybody's gonna feel it. Because, but let me know what you guys think about this. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you boys next time.